Well, welcome back, 2011. Hopefully this will be one of your guys' better years. Welcome to the new Beast Studio. We're going to attempt to set this little area up to do some videos. So I really don't like filming when it gets dark. The quality of the place for it really deteriorates, and it's not fun to watch for me, and I can only imagine it's not fun for you. So with that, and it being winter time and the day's so short, I'm trying to find a spot with good lighting, enough area, and a quiet little spot. So you may hear the furnace. I'm actually out in our storage room. But I think this is going to work. I can tell right now, I think I'm sort of blocking the fluorescent light a little bit, so I may have to change the lighting. And I also have a cheesy Chinese little Walmart tripod I bought to test out. So let me know what you think. Hopefully it's good. I did this entire series of videos the last 2 days, and when I went to upload them, the sound was horrible, and it was because I usually put a piece of gauze over the microphone, especially when I attach it to the truck. You guys saw the last couple videos I had where we off-roading and stuff, and so I kind of do that to muffle the sound. Well, forgot to take that off, and you couldn't hear a dang thing I said for about 4 or 5 videos I was doing yesterday. So today we're going to redo them a little bit. What you see in front is a CountyComm, what they call their bug-out bag. Of course, I would never call it that, but really got a lot of popularity from Cutlery Lover years ago. He had different versions. This is the one he carried in the trunk of his car. His little preparedness, had all sorts of good. It's got a great amount of pockets and everything. I use it as a range bag. It could actually hold an entire ammo can or ammo box. It was big enough for a little bit of water bottle that day. Held my staple gun that I'd always bring, because ranges never have staples in their staple guns, and pretty much everything. Binoculars, even a small tripod for pictures or scopes. It pretty much held everything I needed to, and it worked out great. Have no faults with it at all. The one thing I was always looking for was something to carry my rifle in. It's not as big a deal now that I'm living in the country, but living in the city, and it wasn't that I was ashamed to be a gun owner, but for OPSEC reasons, I didn't want to be carrying a rifle bag, or my Bushmaster came in the very typical tactical hard black case. People recognize that as a gun case. Even the old deer rifle case, everyone knows that's a rifle case. And if your neighbors know, maybe they know that you go to work every day at noon, and if you're going to be gone for 10 hours and you don't get home till after midnight, if they can recognize your schedule and maybe they're not working, maybe they want to break into your place. Who knows? But I didn't like the idea of carrying a rifle from my place to my car when I was going to the range or going to go out shooting. So a lot of times, and I've spoken this before, if I broke down the AR for upper and lower, it would fit in my several of my backpacks, and that's how I would plan to carry it if I were to be bugging out without having a rifle on my shoulder. I saw the CountyComm CommSat bag, and I want to say there's a couple people on YouTube that have used those for various things. It's a very cool, it's not very rectangle right now, but very rectangle bag. It's got MOLLE on them, but the measurements weren't long enough for a 16-inch AR-15. So I don't think I was the only one who looked at that in that same way. And so the guys at CountyComm, through Maratac, of course, all the stuff Maratac, is solid YKK zippers, good nylon, good sewing, all the stuff. If you guys are CountyComm fans, the biggest issue I have with CountyComm is you can't order just one thing. I think I picked up the mini grappling hook, just a bunch of other stuff. You can't just seem to order one thing. That's my only fault with CountyComm. Any issues I've ever had, I get an email back almost the same day, basically saying send it to us, we'll fix the problem. Great customer service, and I've never had an issue with their actual product. So without further ado, This is designed to be carried as a shoulder bag, or you can carry it vertically, much like a gear slinger. Oops. Another way. Much like a gear slinger, you can have this part over your shoulder and be carrying it vertically. It's designed for communications, antennas, satellite arrays, things like that. It's got MOLLE webbing here on the shoulder area, various clips to attach and to adjust the shoulders. Nice big thick webbing. I did cut it. The tail on this was really long. Make sure we're on here. Trying to block the light. The tail is really long, and this is about as short as, or as long as I would ever need it. And I still have plenty of room to zip it flat if I need to. I mean, you can cinch it up and it sucks right up onto the top. Nice big clip. The other thing I want to make sure you can see this is it's a dual zipper system. Both zippers are attached by one pull. It actually has a small piece of Velcro at the very end to keep that flap down. But you unzip the whole thing in one fell swoop, pull a pull tab off the Velcro at the end, and the whole thing just opens right up. If you have, depending on the rigidity of your items in there, right now I kind of have big bulky items, so obviously I have a lower receiver with magazine. Make sure you can see that. Camo netting that is long enough to cover the rifle. You guys saw that in the camo comparison video. It's just some random piece of camo netting I bought at a fabric store. And the upper. Now this is Bushmaster 16-inch, and I will tell you with the, let's see if I can get this up here, with the upper receiver and the scope as far back to this wall, you've only got about 3 inches or so of space before you hit the other wall, but still plenty of room. And that's what I'm primarily going to use it for. It's going to be rifle slash, shooting bag, range bag, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have quite the ability to carry certain things, especially if you're going to carry it as a vertical carry, which I actually prefer. Holding the binoculars and things like that, there's no straps. That would be the only caveat I would say, is if CountyComm were going to do a generation 2 of the Cycom XL, it would sure be nice to have either some webbing on the inside, or much like a lot of the newer like tool bags, that rigid one-handed reciprocating saw. There are various Velcro straps, and if you did it in a configuration that could be modularized, so you could basically carry anything. But if this is a Cycom bag or an antenna bag, you'd want to keep that pretty stable in there. Like I said, so if you wanted to keep a bunch of stuff in here and you started loading this sucker up, if you carried this and then all of a sudden tilted it to a vertical carry, all this stuff is going to go shooting down to the bottom, and you're going to have very little at the top and everything's going to be at the bottom. So that's my only negative comment about the whole bag. I really enjoy the bag. Let me pull the rifle out real quick. Of course, CountyComm Maratac, it's great quality stuff. It does have MOLLE on both sides, the very bottom all the way around both sides. It has a Velcro spot for name tags, whatever you want to put on there. But when you're vertical carrying it, you can definitely see the nice cool badge as you're carrying it on your shoulder. It does have a extra heavy-duty grab handle on this side. You can see the strap that comes down to help cinch it that way. It does have one on the other side, and it's also Velcroed down so that it stays out of the way if you don't need it or don't use it for that. There's a grommet hole, so I imagine this thing could probably hold quite a bit of weight. But like I said, the only issue you'd have is depending on whether you're going to carry loose things in here into a vertical carry, you might have issues with it. To go over the sides, both sides are exactly the same. So I'll show you this side. You have 2 zippers and they open to the edge. So when both are to the edge, it is sewed across the middle here, so you end up with 4 pouches of equal size. Cleaning kit fits into one. One zipper can go all the way across, just so you know. It also holds AR-15 magazines quite well. I bet it would hold AK mags, especially if you had a folding stock AK. I bet you could get in here. It holds 2 comfortably. You could get 3 in there, and let me pop this one off. I can get 3 in there, and it'll close. It's a little bulky on the bulky side. Sorry for blocking the light. But it'll compromise your interior space. If you can see, sure we're on camera. There's the inside, and there's the bulk of the cleaning kit. There's the bulk of the magazines. Now, I don't mind that really, because if you're loading up the outside magazine, it does help cinch in the middle. So if we start loading this back up, and you also have to kind of be aware of what end I'd want the AR to be falling on. So on the back or on the muzzle, depending on which way you're carrying this. So scoop that back up, hit the Velcro, and you're pretty much set. Let me back up just so you can get a bigger look at it. But I'm very impressed. So there's 3 magazines just in that one pouch, a cleaning kit, and then I still have 2 more pouches, which you can see I've got plenty of room. Even if that helps bring in the interior space down, I think it'll help cinch the AR and the upper and the lower onto each other. And again, you could easily throw different bags on the MOLLE pouch. You could have a small utility bag here on the shoulder strap. But that was my solution that I was really looking for in the original CommSat bag. And they came out with the XL, so I couldn't have been the only one who wanted to have a bag like that. So there you go. Let me know if you have any questions. Of course, this is Coyote Brown. I'll put a link down below. You guys can check out their stuff. Be careful when you're on the website though, because you will be tempted to buy other stuff.